This clip is sponsored by Wash and Go, and that can only mean one thing. That's right, I'm surrounded by a sea of green. By now, you should know that Wash and Go is the best way to look after your luscious locks. I mean, look at what it's done for mine. Fantastic. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at some of the 600 plus unreal reviews on their Amazon page. Linda from the United Kingdom says, well, it smells lush and leaves hair smelling fresh. Fantastic, Linda. Kindle customer JSB says, product arrived as advertised. Always very important. Always important to know that, Kindle customer JSB. And finally, my personal favourite, it's shampoo and it works for me. Absolutely fantastic there from Casey. It is indeed shampoo and also a conditioner. If you want to get your Wash and Go today, then hit the link in the description and get your bottle sent to you today. And remember, it's a shampoo and it works for me.
Hello, my friend. I'm good. Thank you. Have a nice week to all my United fans.
Good. Back at it this week. International football is nearly over, but we were just talking there. I wanted to ask you about the managerial situation anyway. I was going to ask you who you think is leading the race. Literally in the last 5 minutes, I think Santi Uno has come out and said that Manchester United board have had a meeting with Pochettino. Are you aware of this, Fabrizio? And what can you tell us the latest is?
Yes, I want to clarify that from what I'm told, there was no direct meeting, in person, face by face, but was a direct contact. And Pochettino is in contact with Man United board, not Pochettino himself sometimes, but his lawyers and people next to him since a long time. So it's not surprising me. It's absolutely normal that Man United are speaking with people close to Pochettino. He's a candidate, as we know, since November. So they have his name in the list together with Erik ten Hag as front runner since a long time. So I think everything is going in the normal way, in the normal process when you're going to appoint a new manager. So this is what they're doing, having contacts with these managers. I expect them to have a direct meeting with Pochettino also, in case they will decide to hire him as new manager in the coming days. So this is something that could be an option. The only other option they have is to appoint another manager, and so they don't need another meeting with Pochettino. So it's absolutely normal kind of process. They're in contact with people next to him, and in particular with his lawyers since a long time. And so I think we are in the final part of these conversations with Pochettino, with ten Hag, and soon they will make their final decision.
How do you feel because we were talking about this last week, the PSG situation with Pochettino? Would they let Pochettino speak to Manchester United? Are they looking to get rid of him? Would there be compensation United would have to pay? Or do you think it would all just be, you can have him and we don't pay any compensation?
No, I say Pochettino being, of course, respectful with Paris Saint-Germain. So this is why, there are no direct meetings, because sometimes it depends also about the relationships between clubs, about the plans of the clubs. We know, for example, the relationship between Ajax and Man United is very good, in particular thanks to Edwin van der Sar. With Paris Saint-Germain, of course, is different, the kind of situation they are living now. And so this is why Man United and Pochettino have to be careful on this situation. I don't see at the moment any issue with compensations or this kind of stories. We know that Pochettino will have good chances to leave Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the season. So the expectation is not to have a long negotiation with Paris Saint-Germain. And the problem is not a negotiation with Paris Saint-Germain. The only point is what Man United will decide to do. But I don't see any issue in going for Mauricio Pochettino. And same with Erik ten Hag, but it depends on the timing. Because, of course, these managers are waiting for Man United decisions since long time. We're approaching the end of March now, and there is still no final decision. Erik ten Hag has been approached also by the clubs, so it's absolutely normal in this moment of the year that clubs are exploring situations, are exploring agents to ask about managers too. So it's absolutely normal what is happening, but Man United have to be careful because, of course, other clubs are exploring the market of the managers, and so it could be a danger in case they want to decide in the coming few days or weeks.
Just on Erik ten Hag there, you mentioned other clubs. I was told on Friday that those clubs were a German club, which is quite advanced, but I wasn't told which German club, and some people think it's Dortmund and PSG. But then we also heard it might be an English club. Have you got any indication on what clubs are looking at Erik ten Hag and how serious they are? Or do you think it might just be a game to get United to make a move?
I don't see a game. I don't see it as a game. I think it's absolutely true that some clubs are exploring the possibility to appoint Erik ten Hag. It's important to clarify that nothing has been agreed with or close to be agreed with other clubs. So it's not in advanced discussions with other clubs. It's just exploring the situation. It's what is absolutely normal to do in March. At the moment, about the clubs, nothing has been confirmed on people next to Erik ten Hag. And for example, you mentioned PSG, and this kind of clubs are not confirming this kind of rumors in March. It's absolutely normal that they are protecting the team, protecting the club. So I think we are in the moment of the market, in the typical moment of the managers market, March, April, when you explore the situation, but nothing has been decided yet, and it will take time also for Paris Saint-Germain to decide their new manager. German clubs like to move in advance, but Man United, now they are in a very good position because now they can decide. They're in a very good position because they're looking for a manager since a long time. They are in the process, but now it's time to complete this process because Erik ten Hag, for example, he wants to have an answer as soon as possible. Of course, he's happy with the interest of Man United, but he wants an answer as soon as possible, and he wants to understand about all the details of the project. What I'm told is that during the interview, of course, is on Man United side, so they want to know about Erik ten Hag ideas, system, plans.
A lot of United fans, as you can understand, are very impatient to get this done. We're going to talk about some transfers in a moment, and I think United fans feel that if you get the manager in now, you can then start telling players who your manager's going to be, and you can start doing deals.
This is correct. I think the fans are right when they think this because it's normal. I can tell you of many players and agents that are still asking around who will be the manager of Man United. They don't know, and this is going to be very important. This is a key point for the next season and for the project, the whole project, I would say. This is why timing is going to be very important because the market will be affected by this decision and the timing of this decision. So it's important for Man United to decide as soon as possible, even if it's not official, because you know that maybe we're talking about managers like Pochettino and Ten Hag that are already working with other important clubs. And so it's not easy maybe to make an official statement in March or in April to say he will be my manager next season. So maybe it will take some time to see the official statement. But to make a final decision, because it means that you can go to negotiate with players and tell them, this is our project, this is our manager, this is our idea. So this is why it's going to be important to decide as soon as possible.
What's your feeling on it, Fabrizio? Some of us were thinking that maybe by the time this international break's over, United will have made that decision. That we've also heard that maybe it could be weeks away, which is not good for transfers. Do you think a deal is close? A decision is close? And who do you think is the favourite at the moment? Obviously, I'm not asking you who the manager's going to be, but with the bookmakers in England, Erik ten Hag is the firm favourite. My personal feeling is I'm still thinking that the club will go for Pochettino, but that's just because I don't want Pochettino. I want Ten Hag, so I'm playing devil's advocate a bit. But, how are you feeling about this, and how quick do you think a decision will be?
First of all, about the timing, honestly, what is coming from the club is that they still need some time. So it's not like a matter of hours, of days, but maybe it will be weeks. So this is what is coming from the club. But we need to understand if that means that is timing to announce the new manager or timing to reach an agreement with the new manager. So this is an important detail of this story. But from the club, the answer is it will take some weeks to decide and to have everything set to be announced. So it will take some time. I don't expect it to happen immediately in the next few days, but never say never with Man United. You know better than me. And talking about the favorite, I think on the communication side has been very important to say Man United important sources. Of course, I respect important sources in England. There's many that we saw in the last few days confirming about Erik ten Hag. Because I think this is a message about the interview with Erik ten Hag, because I think it's a message that Man United are sending, and it's absolutely normal that they're having meetings and this kind of stuff around in this period. But from what I told, this meeting with Erik ten Hag was really positive, was a very good one. So they were happy with his level of English, was a key point, trust me, because last summer it was a big issue for Tottenham, and that's why Erik ten Hag started to study English. Now this process is going very well, and so they're happy with his communication, with his level of English, with his approach. They have no doubts on the quality of the manager. What he's doing with Ajax is fantastic, but now it's time to decide into the board who is the right man. If the experience of Pochettino, or going for a manager with very good ideas but with less experience like Erik ten Hag. The experience is the real point that is helping Pochettino in this race.
Yeah, and it will be very interesting because, and I'm glad you said that about the meeting, because I was speaking last Tuesday on the show and I said I'd heard the same one, probably not the same as you, but I'd heard that the interview had gone very well with Ten Hag, and that clearly is a message that's gone out from the club, because we've heard that from so many people. One thing as well is, I don't know whether you're aware of this, is that the fan base is massively, like any poll you run, it's well over 80% for Erik ten Hag. Which hopefully the club will. I mean, you shouldn't always listen to fans. I completely agree with that. But I don't know what your thought is on that. Could you imagine, I don't know, an AC Milan or a Juventus or a Real Madrid, if 80% of their fans
When they appointed Stefano Pioli, their current manager, they're now first in the table in Serie A. When they appointed Stefano Pioli, the fans were outside the offices, the official offices of the club and the headquarters of the club, going against his decision, saying Pioli out was trending topic for 1 week in Italy because AC Milan fans didn't want him. And now they're doing an incredible job. They're leading the table in Serie A, and they're doing very good with a normal team, a good team, but it's not a special team. And they are in the race to win the Serie A. So sometimes it's not always the best idea to follow what the fans think. But in this case, I think the Man United fans are having a very good point in supporting Erik ten Hag, because this manager, I just give you my personal opinion, this manager is very good, but he's good on the pitch, he's good off the pitch in the relationships with the board. He's used to work really closely with the board. What he did with Mark Overmars has been fantastic in picking the right players. I think there is a key sentence from Ralf Rangnick. I always say we can't get wrong too many transfers in the coming season, too many signings. What they did in the last few years with signings was many times not at Man United level. Erik ten Hag is helping in this kind of process. He knows what kind of players he needs. He's never signing a player that then he's not using. As for example, it happened with Donny van de Beek. I think Donny van de Beek was a fantastic signing, but was not the right signing for Ole. Yeah. And this is something that you can't continue to do. And having Erik ten Hag helps to avoid this kind of situation, because he only trusts some players that then he's using and he's developing. So this is why I think Man United fans are correct, and you are correct to support Erik ten Hag in this race.
We will see. And just quickly before we move on to transfers, Ralf Rangnick, do you feel he's involved in this, and do you think he will be involved next season, or do you think he might be leaving in the summer? Because there's been a bit of rumour that he's not been listened to and he could be off in the summer. Do you think he is part of the long-term project at United?
At the moment, yes. At the moment, what I'm told is yes. He is still in discussions with the board every time they have to decide something on contracts or on this manager situation. So yes, at the moment he's involved in decisions. Then let's see who they will pick, because it's not Ralf Rangnick, the man who picks the new manager. So if they will trust his ideas in this manager project, of course it's going to be a really important decision also for Ralf Rangnick, because he wants to have a power in this decision. It's absolutely normal, no, to decide together, but to be a consultant of the board, it means to have a power in the decision. So this is why.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video, because we all know only legends like videos, and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video, and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, as always.